Okay everyone, how's it going? It's me here again, and I'm going to be talking about the Batman vs Superman movie. Now, I will say I enjoyed it. Not one of the best Superman movies I've seen, but I've just enjoyed finally seeing Batman and Superman on screen fighting. And first, I'll start by saying I like the actors in it. Jesse Eisenberg I thought was good, but for what he was supposed to portray, I didn't like. Ben Affleck was great as Batman. I thought he portrayed that version of Batman very well, like the old, tired vigilante who just doesn't care anymore. I thought Henry Cavill was great as Superman, which I thought he was great Man of Steel, and I enjoyed Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman for what she was in the movie. She wasn't in it much, but for what she was in, I thought she was really good. I will say this was better than Man of Steel, but it wasn't as good as I think what it could have been. I think there was just too much going on. The story, I think there was just... The story and pacing I kind of tie together in this because I think the pacing was so bad because there was so much story. I mean, you have the whole Batman wanting to kill Superman, you have the whole Doomsday thing coming in at the end, you have the Lex Luthor, who is more of a mad scientist in this, which I didn't really like. I wish he would have been more businessman and then mad scientist on the side, or just scientist, not mad, mostly. But there was those going on. There's the whole thing of setting up for Doomsday, there was the whole thing of setting up for Flashpoint, and I'm just like, there's so much in this that should have been, I think, saved for later. Like, maybe throw in Flashpoint in the standalone Batman movies, not actually make it those Batman movies about that, but like maybe as he had the little dream in this, toss that in the Batman movies as just a little thing, and then just ignore it for the rest of the movie to kind of just build up towards actually making that happen. And then I think the Doomsday thing should probably be tied into some other DC movie. I think this movie should have just strictly been for setting up, toss Wonder Woman in it, building up to the Justice League, realizing, hey, we're gonna, need to form this team to go against what might come in the future, and just do it that. Just take out some of the stuff in the movie, and I think it would have been so much better. Because for one, I liked the look of the movie. I liked that it was dark. I don't know. I'm not huge on the whole I don't mind the family-friendly thing that Marvel does because that makes it funny. I enjoy that, but I don't know. When I see DC, especially Batman, I've just always thought it needs to be dark and not so bright. Because for one, the whole thing of the movie being dark didn't really bother me. As I said, it was mostly just the pacing. Because the story could have been great. Because the story's, Batman vs Superman. They toss in Death of Superman. They toss in Flashpoint. They toss in Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns into this, kind of like what Christopher Nolan did with Dark Knight Rises, having a little bit too much going on, and I think that's what really hurt this movie. Because the fight scene with Superman and Batman, I thought, oh, that was actually really good. I didn't mind that. I didn't think it was one-sided because Superman didn't really seem like he wanted to fight Batman, because he wanted to save his mom, because Lex Luthor has captured his mom. And so, he goes to try to get Batman tries to get Batman to help him, and Batman just doesn't listen because Batman's pissed off at Superman for what happens. He thinks he's too strong. He thinks that he's just gonna pretty much ruin humankind, basically. I swear that's like everything, all he thinks about, because he's mad at what happened in Metropolis with like because he has a Wayne Enterprise building in Metropolis, and it gets destroyed during the whole Zod incident. And so that kind of leads Batman on this path of destruction, wanting to kill Superman, and I guess I shouldn't say path of destruction, but one thing that was really weird in this movie was Metropolis and Gotham City are way apart from each other. Now, to me, I've always just assumed that Metropolis is on one end and Gotham City is on the other end. No, there is a bay apart in this, which is weird, because why is Superman only taking an interest in Batman now? Which, I'm assuming it's just as long as he doesn't come in Metropolis, he just doesn't really care what goes on, but then there's the whole thing of Clark Kent trying to do articles on Batman. And I was like, okay. Why not just fly over to Metropolis? Or Gotham City. It's literally just a bay across from Metropolis. It's not even going to take you that long because you can fly. It doesn't even take you long to get to the other side, so why not go there? And I found that really weird. I enjoyed the Batmobile, especially the Batmobile scene. I really liked it. It's just funny watching Batman come around the corner and there's Superman standing for the first time when they meet, and Batman just hits. Superman just bounces over and hits a gas station. I was like, huh, that was actually kind of funny. And I swear Batman just seemed so mad whenever he's like driving back to the Batcave after Superman just like ripped the hood off of the Batmobile. I thought it was kind of just interesting. But honestly, I think what they should have done with this movie, it had its moments where it was kind of funny, especially when Wonder Woman first appears and says she's dealt with killing aliens before, and Superman just looks at Batman and is like, "Is she with you?" And I thought that was really good. And literally, I think the only thing they should just done better was just the pacing and the story. That's really, like I said, that's what hurt this. And what I think they should have done is just cut it out and put it in separate different movies. But they didn't do that. Maybe it's just Zack Snyder. Maybe, not being mean saying he's bad, but I feel because they're trying to play catch up, they were okay with Zack Snyder doing Batman vs Superman the way that he did Batman vs Superman. Honestly, I think if they just got rid of him and got someone else who actually appreciates comics more than what he does, it would have been better. I feel like I've always felt Michael Bay didn't care about Transformers, and so he just tosses giant robots in this movie with tons of explosions. And in this, Zack Snyder just tossed in heroes into this movie with crappy pacing. That really doesn't make sense the way I said that, but as you get what I'm saying, it's just, I think it's Zack Snyder. Get rid of him, and I think it'll be better. Get Josh Whedon. Maybe Josh Whedon would be glad to come over to DC and do a couple movies here and there. Yeah, I think that might work. I doubt he would do that, but that would actually be kind of interesting, seeing Josh Whedon come in and do something in the DC universe and seeing how he'll do it, because I enjoyed Avengers, not so much Avengers 2, Age of Ultron, but Avengers I liked. And so I think he might be able to do something over here. But for the most part, I did, like I said, I did like this movie, but, and I've heard from other, like, critics really hate this movie, but, like, tons of people out there, just in general, actually really enjoyed this movie. And then there's tons that didn't, for the sake of DC versus Marvel, because, I feel like if it wasn't for Marvel so much, this movie might have done better, because I feel like because Marvel has such a big say in the movies that they're like, everyone compares DC to Marvel, like, oh, it needs to be brighter. No, I think DC's kind of good the way it is, kind of being a little bit dark, just get someone who knows how to actually make a superhero movie better than the person who I think he did 300, which I didn't like. I'm not a huge Zack Snyder fan. I haven't really enjoyed most of his movies, so, and no, it wasn't Ben Affleck's fault in this movie. Ben Affleck was amazing in this movie. He did well, because I hear some people's like, oh, Ben Affleck was terrible. No, Ben Affleck was great. Honestly, he was better than Christian Bale, and I like Christian Bale's Batman, except for the voice he did in the second and third. And I like how in this one, Ben Affleck had kind of this voice changer. He didn't like have a growl or anything. He didn't try to change his voice himself. He had this little voice changer, and I thought that was actually really interesting. So that's how he keeps his identity secret, is because of that little voice changer. And I still don't understand how Superman is able to just keep his identity secret just because he wears glasses during the day when he's just Clark Kent. I'm just like, really? Come on. No one notices the guy's hair who never changes. And it doesn't. It really doesn't. No, I don't think anywhere in this movie I saw his hair get messed up. It was just perfect. Even when Batman was punching him in the face, which I thought was hilarious, because Batman's like, oh, just hold off, dude. I mean, let's talk about this for a second. And you just look at Superman's hair, and it's just still perfect. It never changed. It's like Jimmy Johnson of the Dallas Cowboys. He always wants his hair perfect. He probably wishes he could be Superman to be like, I want my hair to always be that perfect no matter what happens. Because if you guys have ever seen Jimmy Johnson in the old days, he would always have some other come over and, make his hair perfect again. Darn it. But it was a good movie. I enjoyed it. I'll probably buy it on Blu-ray. I mean, it's probably for the sake that mostly Batman, because I like Batman, but I just enjoyed the movie. I can't say why. I went with low expectations, I guess I should say. I think no matter what, you should always go in with low expectations to a movie. Even if you're like, oh, this is going to be the best movie ever, go in with low expectations, because it's no matter how high your expectations are, something you go to see is never going to surpass that. So I've gone with low expectations for more movies, and I've come out enjoying them more. I mean, I'm fairly positive that if I went with high expectations for Batman vs Superman, I probably would have been disappointed. Same with Star Wars, except Star Wars, there was other reasons why, which I've already explained in the previous video, but I think going with low expectations kind of helped me with this movie. I mean, I've gone and seen a ton of the Marvel movies, and for the most part, I've enjoyed some of them more than others, some of them not. So, don't listen to what other people say when, you read something and it says this movie was, not the best out there. When you go see it, just go with low expectations, and I'm sure you'll probably enjoy it more than what you would have originally. So, just in the comments, let me know if you liked the movie or if you didn't, and say why or why not. And it doesn't really matter, it's your opinion if you liked the movie or if you didn't like the movie. It's whatever. If you're more of a Marvel fan, if you're more a DC fan, it's whatever. But just leave it down below, and I will see you guys next time.